Hey, this is the World Advice Channel too. What I want to talk about today is how Donald Trump's presidency is going. Okay, so I'm going to discuss for this video is how his presidency is going in a fair and objective way without any personal biases being attached to it, so you can know if he's doing a good job as a president or not. So now I mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to answering that question, simply put it, no. Donald Trump is not doing good as a president because even though, as I am certain, me being a left wing individual as well are aware, there's a lot of people that don't like Trump out there, and not just don't like Trump, but have a very good reason to not like Trump, because it's as clear as day he has done wrong things, or I should say more like he's represents something wrong with America with a lot of his views and a lot of his statements he has made in the past. You know, it is um clear as day that a lot of people do not like Trump. But when it comes to the topic of rating how good a president is, you want to focus on it from a perspective of a non-biased perspective, more okay, like how good is he making things, like for example, is he improving economy, is he improving the everyday standard of living and all that type of stuff. And that's the type of stuff you obviously want to cover, to be quite blunt and honest with you, okay? And the truth of the matter is, he is not doing a good job as a president, okay? For that matter, okay? Because the reason why I say that, um, for that matter, sorry, I just had a light in my eyes, so I wasn't thinking. But anyway, back to what I was saying before. The truth of the matter is, the reason why I say that is because how much has Donald Trump actually done to make America better again? Because the biggest thing he obviously said that he was going to do was improve the standard of living, okay? Or in other words, reduce the cost of things, to which is actually the thing he said he was going to do, instead of, for that matter, okay? He was going to focus on improving the standard of living, in all honesty. Or I should say, reduce the cost of things. My bad. Again, the light is in my eyes, so I'm not concentrating. But anyway, back to what I was saying before. He said he was going to do that. And how much has changed in America when it comes to the cost of living? From what I'm hearing, the cost of food and everything is still very expensive. And that is exactly what I'm trying to get at here. He hasn't done any of those things. It's still expensive. The price of eggs hasn't improved. The price of everyday items, and so on and so forth hasn't improved. It's still shit. And he just has not done a good job, which actually goes along with a video I actually posted um before, talking about how Trump will be like as president on my channel, where I discuss the topic of how good will Trump be as a president. And I said certain things that literally is exactly literally what's going on right now. Like the fact that he said that he was going, that he was going to do this, he was going to do that, and he didn't do any of that shit. And he also was going to try to deflect blame, and so on and so forth for his problems. And is he is exactly doing that, just like how he said he wanted Beyonce, um, you know, uh, another person, Oprah, and the biggest one of all, of course, the first black president, Barack Obama, arrested. Those are the things he said he wanted to do, which is so stupid because Obama hasn't been president for the longest time. He hasn't been president for 9 years. Yet he wants to have him arrested for things that happened God knows how long ago, for that matter, especially when we take it into consideration, the fact that we have the internet nowadays. Something like that's like 9 years old is kind of like the equivalent of something that's like 15 years old at this point, okay? Because we have so much information, so much stuff, and so on and so forth. So in a sense, it is kind of like God knows how long ago. Like, it really kind of is, in a sense, because like how much of us even remember how we were like, and so on and so forth, since 2016. And that's the truth of the matter. Was a long time ago, to be quite honest with you. To be quite blunt and honest with you, to be quite honest with you. So that was a long time ago. Either way, you get the point. He hasn't been president for a long time. And the truth of the matter is Trump wants to have him arrested, yet some way, somehow he's not gonna have George Bush arrested when he started a war that was fake, and in order to generate profits like the war in Iraq that never really needed to even have happened in the first place. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Why does he have him arrested? But he wants to have Barack Obama arrested. But either way, the main point is that he's deflecting from his situation, especially with the Jeffrey Epstein situation that he's being brought up in, and how it's made a lot of his base turn against him, for that matter, okay? That is the truth of the matter. So he is, of course, trying to find a way to deflect from the Jeffrey Epstein situation, as well as, of course, not actually doing anything. Okay, he's just not doing a good job as president. He is just doing the same, generic stuff that we see all the time. Right wingers do, right winger, far right people do, the populace is what they call them. Just like Boris Johnson, Jair Bolsonaro, um, another one, if I could mention one that existed, is like, obviously the Prime Minister of Italy, Giorgia Meloni, and stuff, like all those type of people that were popular a few years ago, and really popular and really well liked, and they didn't even fucking do anything. Specifically Boris Johnson and Jair Bolsonaro, and another person as well. I forgot what his name was, but you get the point. Like, they were popular a few years ago, many years ago. Like, they became popular towards the mid 2010s. Everyone thought it was going to change things, and it didn't really do shit. And it screwed everything up even more. Okay, and when it comes to this new person, that's this other lady, Giorgia Meloni, how much has she changed? How much has life in Italy gotten better? For that matter, since she was in charge, instead of just blaming immigrants, specifically black immigrants, for every problem Italy has, when Italy's old boy has a lot of problems even before this immigration issue became a big thing. So the truth of the matter is, she's gonna eventually, her time is gonna run out, and the same thing's gonna happen to her. But either way, the main point is that Donald Trump is not doing a good job as president. Okay, and he's not. He's just like all the populists I mentioned before. He's just gonna talk the talk. He's just gonna do this. He's just gonna do that, which is just talking and blaming the left for everything, instead of actually making the standard of living better. And if there is any message for this video, since I explain, I mean, my stance on this topic, the truth of the matter is, it just goes to show you why in life you should learn to not listen to everything you hear people say and believe it, for that matter, okay? That is the truth of the matter, okay? And not just believe anything. Because the truth of the matter is, this is a problem with a lot of people have, okay, in this modern age, is that they still have this way of thinking that there's going to be this person who's going to save people. There's going to be this magical person who is going to come up and save people, in all honesty, okay, to put it bluntly, okay? That is the truth of the matter. He's gonna save the world and yada 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 yada. But the truth of the matter is, you have to realize we live in a 2025. Okay, this is not like the 1950s and 1960s, when life was a lot more easier and simpler. Because in those time period, we did have actually people who were what we'd consider today to be that. If anything, people like Che Guevara, Martin Luther King, and a bunch of other ones that existed, that actually kind of lived up to the reputation and actually were what they said they were, okay, and actually brought change, even though, of course, they all were killed, for that matter, okay? But the truth of the matter is, this is 2025. The world is a lot more complex and different than it was in the 1950s and 1960s. And that's not including the fact of the matter that Obviously we have the internet now. Okay, so there's a lot more stuff out there. Okay, the world has changed a lot. Okay, and the truth of the matter is, there's because of how much more complex the world is, and with the internet, the smallest thing that happens, it can create a massive controversy, and yada yada yada. The truth is, in this day and age, there's no such thing as this magical person who's going to save you. That era is done. It's not. It's done. It's not coming back. Like, it's not going to happen again, if anything. Okay. So the truth of the matter is, if you're expecting the world to be like how it was in the past, and it's going to be this great visionary leader, whether it could be in the 1950s and 1960s, even going back hundreds, thousands of years, because we did have legendary people like that, it's not going to happen. In honesty, in today's world, all these people who claim this stuff are all crooks and frauds, and it's just not how the world works nowadays. So anyway, in conclusion, I just hope this serves as a lesson to people, because he still hasn't done the things he's claimed he's gonna do, and he's not gonna do it. So I hope this serves as a lesson. There's no magical people to save you. And this is off, so saying I'm out. Bye.